what is this situation that we're in right now? Is this the status quo, and how long do you see it lasting?
No, I think he just did a good job of highlighting flexibility. And in fact, what they've done with this pivot kind of gives the market confidence that there is flexibility. So, you know, if Steve's right and the kind of the backstopping is what the market went up on, or the idea that they could backstop if the virus picks up or other conditions start to weaken on the growth side, or the inflation dissipates faster, I think the market's going to take a lot of comfort from that flexibility, that they're not boxing themselves in. They're not making statements like, remember last time with the balance sheet, they used the word autopilot. We don't hear autopilot anymore. These guys are happy to be piloting without autopilot, and I think the market's happier that they're not piloting with autopilot. It's a good thing. And I think also the market took a pretty good liking to his statements about long end yields, that he's not troubled by them. He's not looking at them as a problem. He's not looking at them as a statement of concern, of frothiness. And I think that the tech market in particular, the NASDAQ and other things that are keying off long-term valuation, long-term cash flows, are going to like that a lot.
So, Steve, everyone seems to have liked his performance today. The market certainly did. Do you think he's got a new lease of confidence since being reappointed?
I do, but I have to ask a question, Wolf, if you don't mind. I know you guys are the anchors and everything, but I'm not sure the market is hearing what Fed Chair Powell is saying. I see no movement in the 2-year. I saw the 2-year ratchet up, and then it came back down. I'm looking at the May probability, which I think is kind of a lock now. I kind of think he said, hey, as soon as we get done tapering, we're going to start to hike rates. I don't see any change at a 56% probability. I'm just not sure the market has internalized the idea that, hey, the Fed's moving fast here, and it's going to move as fast as it can to try to keep the market at bay. But the door is, what Powell could be saying is, the door is open. It might be time for you to use that opportunity to exit here. I'm just a little worried that maybe they're not quite hearing that. He said he's well positioned. Well, what does that mean? I think that means well positioned to finish the taper as quickly as they can by March, and then get going on the business of hiking rates as soon as May.
Hey, Steve, if I could jump in there. I mean, I think one of the other things that they may have heard is that Chair Powell said it's about optionality, and that by the time we get to March, when the taper is done, they're going to have a few more months worth of data. I think there's considerable uncertainty about what Omicron's going to do, but at least judging from the forecast that Ellen Zentner here at Morgan Stanley has, we're going to start to get some month-on-month prints for inflation that are going to come off the boil pretty substantially. And so if you put those together,
Seth, you are brilliant. You're brilliant where you are now. You were brilliant at the Treasury, but what I would say is this. I think Chair Powell and the Fed are raising rates no matter what happens to inflation. I think that's the flaw in the policy right now, is that even if you didn't have high inflation, the Fed ought to be taking accommodation away. I think it's not responding to inflation. I think it's just going by a 2% inflation rate.
Oh, I think they're definitely responding. In fact, Chair Powell sort of switched a little bit the ordering, the hierarchy, right? He said that they could start raising rates because of inflation before they get to full employment. He said before the blackout period and just now that stable prices are the path to full employment. So, I mean, I agree with you that they're on the path to raising rates. I think the question really does come down to the timing and the speed with which they do that.
Gentlemen, we will have to wrap it up there. Much appreciated. Steve, Paul, David, Seth, great to see you all as always.